for some fireworks. Like, it's the grand finale, by the way, fireworks. When I was a little kid, we used to go watch fireworks on 4th of July. This is the grand finale. And it was like, oh yeah, that's tight. No, oh, this is the grand finale. And then finally the grand finale would be like, oh, there's so many fireworks at once. And the fireworks sound a little something like this.
Good morning, Nerdvengers, Brokevengers, visitors to the tower. Everybody else, how are you? We'll be on camera in just a minute. If you could do us a favor and tap that like button, oh baby, it would mean a lot. See you soon.
It started by me just sitting inside all day, and then it's like, then you get bored. Then you're like, well, I could just be high, and I could have a whole adventure in this room.
Feeling here. Maybe you've noticed.
He's done and the success he's had, and man, to me this dude comes from the same cloth that guys like me and Tech came from, or you know, dudes like Talib Kweli and all these guys that came from, because true lyricist, true student of the game. And so now to have him up here with the new album, his fourth album, The Divine Feminism. That's always been a hard work.
Okay. Hey, before we get on camera, let me know in the chat. I just want to know, have you seen the brand new WandaVision clip? Yes or no? Let us know in DOS chat. All right, man. Enough grab ass and goddamn it, let's get in there. Let's do this. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you're feeling fine. Welcome to the morning stream. Good beats, man. Good beats, Chet, on the way in. That was cool. Cool. All right, got a lot to talk about today. There is this massive trailer that came out. So let's like a little preview kind of a thing for the next episode of WandaVision, at least presumably the next episode of WandaVision. It's pretty crazy, guys. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Look, I don't know how to say this. It sort of proves maybe some of the other leaks correctly, which is one of those freaking things. So we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about the new episode. We'll try to stay spoiler light at the beginning of the stream. We'll go spoiler heavy, or heavy spoilers, as Paul would say, towards the end of the stream, okay? So that's what we're going to do. I also want to talk a little bit about the Snyder Cut and a little bit about DC Marvel and just some of the plans that are going on for the channel. But before we do all of that, Monsieur Chet, show notes! Nicely done. All right. Let's go into the past for a moment, shall we? Last night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, sorry. Probably more like 10:20. Holy crap, Chet. We got to get this under control. Okay, look. Last night, we had our first official public stream with Miss Darren Wood. Darren's a new sort of content creator here at the channel. She's going to be doing shows Wednesday nights at probably 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're working on the time exactly, but it looks like it'll probably be 10 p.m. I thought the stream was fire, but here's the thing. Darren is a little bit of a fire brand herself. She's highly opinionated. I think it makes great content. Some of you might not. That's okay. As we expand, and this is something we're going to talk about more this weekend, as we expand, there's going to be all kinds of stuff. Not all the things we do are going to please all of you people. So that's just one of those things, man. Look, we really like Darren. I recognize that she's really talented. We're going to work with her for a long time to come. But maybe it's not for you. It's fine. That show will be Wednesday night. While we're on the topic of shows, tonight, usually after dark, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This week, no after dark. I know. And I do want to apologize. I know this week has been weird. We have missed several streams, and I apologize about that. But there's just a lot of weird stuff going on for a bunch of different people here at the team. So we're going to get through it, and then next week we should be hopefully more back to normal. But there'll be no after dark stream tonight either. However, there's good news. Don't fret, because as per usual, we will be doing our watch party with the Nerdvengers to watch this new episode of WandaVision early in the morning. We'll probably start the stream at like 3:45 a.m. Friday morning, Thursday night, depending on how you look at it. We'll watch the show together. We'll geek out together. We'll talk about all that stuff, and then we'll go live early in the morning, all on spoilers, breaking down what is going to be happening in the episode. And then, very importantly, this weekend, Saturday at noon, massive Nerdvengers stream. I've been teasing this one out for a long time. We have diabolical plans to take over the world, and I want to explain them to you. I want to talk about them with the Nerdvengers. So come on by Saturday. Should be a very, very good stream. And then Sunday, I'll be doing a Nerdvengers Prime or Nerdvengers Business stream in which I will go into even more detail about our absolutely diabolical plan. Okay, now, before we get into this WandaVision clip, and I certainly want to get into that, I want to talk a little bit about the Snyder Cut. Okay? I'm kind of confused here, guys. Just going to be honest. A little confused. I could use your help. Let me just say this into the chat. On a scale of 1 to 10, this is what I need from you. This is what I need from you guys. On a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being maximum level of support with the full company and force of marketing behind it, and 1 being we literally don't care about this thing whatsoever. On a scale from 1 to 10, where do you think Warner Brothers is at with the Snyder Cut? The Snyder Cut itself, because I would really like to know. Because from what I understand, and I'm double checking, I'm looking up the article right now. I've been saying for a long time now that I do not believe that Warner Brothers is supporting the Snyder Cut any longer. I actually believe that they're moving away from it and they don't want to do any more content with Zack. Partially, this is due to the Ray Fisher thing, but it's not really the Ray Fisher thing. I think that's what people need to understand. It's not the Ray Fisher thing. It's more complicated and nuanced than that. But more or less, because the studio fears the inability to control the narrative and Zack's fans, and they're kind of scummy. I mean, let's just be real. Like, everybody in Hollywood's probably like looking around like, oh shit, like I wonder if my shit's coming out. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Regardless, and let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Holy cow. Let's see here. We got like 165, -10, 5, 5, 6, 6, 6. Okay, so there's a lot of fair kind of mid-range numbers from you guys. I see it pretty low though, like 4 3s, 5s, 3s, 1 point. Yeah. So I would say middle to low tier is kind of like where you guys are at with it, which is agreeable. I do not see a lot of you going like 9s or 10s or anything like that. You know what I mean? So that makes sense because they're not doing that. We would know. If they were out here 9 and 10 it, we'd be breaking it down. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. But recently, there is word that even DC Comics, and I gotta double check this, but even DC Comics has rejected Zack's offer to continue his Justice League story in comic book form. Now, the reason I want to bring this up is because I kind of secretly thought that that's actually the more realistic way for them to continue the story. Because let me see if I can find this. DC Comics, Zack Snyder. Yep, here we go right here. Justice League, Zack Snyder says DC Comics turned down a miniseries revealing how Joker killed Robin. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's get into the theater. Look at this together. What in tarnation? Nope, I don't want that one. Give me 1 second here, guys. One moment. Come on. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose my mind. Okay, that'll do. That'll do. Nope, it's fine. Okay, so Justice League, Zack Snyder, DC Comics miniseries revealing blah 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 blah. There have been rumblings that Zack Snyder's vision for the DC extended universe could continue in comic book form, but it seems DC passed on a prequel miniseries exploring the Joker's history after the release of blah 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 blah. I'm not gonna read all that crap. You know, we talked about doing I guess it would be DC. They decided not to do it, but we did talk about doing a mini kind of comic book run on the death of Robin, right? And what happened, how Joker killed Robin, and what it did to Batman, and started him down this darker road that ended, kind of culminated with the arrival of Superman. So this is making waves right now, and I think one of the main reasons is because overall, the vibe is just that, like, DC and Warner Brothers totally doesn't give a shit about this guy at all, and if they, like, okay, so I was on the four why is that so hard to say? Well, I was on the Four Nerds show. Guys, Nicotina, if you're watching, you've got to change the whole name of the show because I can't pronounce it, brother. We're going to talk about this offline. Anyway, I was on the Four Nerds show, and, you know, there was this moment where I was like, are you guys like 100% certain that there's more Zack stuff coming? Because I don't know that that's true, you know? And in my head, when I was saying this, and they were all like, no, of course, yeah, it's coming. While I was talking to them, in the back of my head, I'm literally thinking about the comic book shit. I'm like, well, I mean, they might continue it in comics from what I've heard, but I don't know if they want to keep riding this Zack Snyder live action thing. I just don't think I don't think it's a reality. And my thing here is, though, if they're not only going to not do that, but also stop him from being able to like continue these stories in comic book form, it's pretty ridiculous, because essentially this is why it upsets me so much. DC has a long history of being pretty archaic with their IP and being really draconian in the way they like hold on to contracts, etc., right? One example is Alan Moore. Alan Moore has all these things with DC. He with Watchmen in particular, it was never intended to remain completely with DC forever. They took advantage of the publishing arrangement and just printed it forever. So now every year they print a new version of Watchmen or some shit just so that they can have that license forever. So, you know, shady stuff like that. DC also, until very recently, had completely screwed over Schulster and Spiegel, or Spiegel and Schulster's estates at the time when the Superman play was the #1 show on Broadway. One of the Jewish boys from Cleveland that created that character was so poor that he could not even go to Broadway to watch that show. You know what I mean? You know, we don't have to necessarily go deep on Bill Finger, but Bill Finger, not necessarily DC, more Bob Kane, but DC, you know, again, not being super chill. Not being super chill. And the thing is, when you, as a writer or a director or a creator, when you sign a deal to work on licensed property, whether that be Marvel or DC or, you know, Star Wars or whatever, those are not your characters. And depending on the company and the contract, any characters you create, those are not your characters either. Any situation that you create is not your situation. You are given a license to play with the toys that a mega corporation holds as valuable IP. You are given license to play with those toys. You have a lot of oversight as well, and you're paid to do so. And it really just completely stops there, right? The problem with that, this has created all kinds of problems, but one of the problems is there's a disincentive for creative talent to push the bar or really create like great stories for these companies, because they realize this is like sort of what you see happen in comics. Well, to me, and I'm going on a little diatribe here, so forgive me. I just didn't sleep a lot last night, so shut your mouth. So, you know, maybe I shouldn't go down this total rabbit hole. The macro point is, if they won't let Zack, like, they have the ability to stop him from being able to tell that story because they own the characters that he has started that story with. This is what's so crazy. He signed a big deal to tell those stories. It's like he started to do it. He was like a third of the way through, because he had like a 5-film arc and all that, right? He's like a third of the way through. And they're like, no, you don't get to do that, no, Mo. You can't go finish the story on your own. Oh, you want to do it in comics? Nope, you can't do it in comics. You want to do it in a novella? You can't do it in a novella. You know, you want to fanfic it on Tumblr? You can't fanfic it on Tumblr, you know? That kind of sucks. So, I don't know, maybe I'm reading a little too far into it, but I think if they legit do not, like, I don't know how I would feel as a DC fan. Like, I love DC, I am a DC fan, but I'm not like a hardcore DC fan, right? If I was a hardcore DC Films fan, I don't know how I would feel after this situation. And of course, the Snyder Cut's right around the corner. That's going to be dope. Everybody's going to love it. But if the Snyder Cut is incredible, and a lot of people watch it, and they still don't make more, then, I mean, I'm don't get me wrong, I'm still glad that Zach got to do that, his thing, but I'm super not happy as a fan. Like, that doesn't make sense to me from the company perspective. I'm like, what do you mean? You're going to do all this stuff? You're going to give us all this dope shit? And then that's it? It's the Justice League, dude. Like, it almost feels like they're not willing to be self-aware enough to admit they really fucked up, like, the Justice League. You know what I mean? Like, as much as Warner Brothers and Jason Kilar and all these people are like, yeah, we're going to do, Zach's cut and all this stuff. It's like they're super reluctant to come out and be like, yo, the Justice League, though, So, anyway, let's talk, let's switch the subject. Let's switch the subject, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get this trailer thing set up, because I want to watch this trailer with you. I want to break it down, and then we'll sort of ease into some spoilers. Nothing crazy. Don't worry. Nothing too crazy. And then we'll get into a Q&A. We'll finish off the stream with a little bit of good old-fashioned Q and A. No, I need to adjust this, obviously. This is actually the video on murphysmultiverse.com. Shout out to Charles, friend of the channel. Oh, by the way, I don't follow scoopers based on how much I agree with the way they tweet. So everybody knows. I just follow them, their ability to get accurate scoops. Now here's an idea. All right, ready? Everybody ready?
Look, we've all been there, right? Letting our fear and anger get the best of us, intentionally expanding the borders of the false world we created.
Mom, are you coming down soon? Mom, our game is freaking out.
So cool, dude.
Is she asleep?
Mommy's not sleeping, honey. She's just resting her eyes.
Mom, my head feels weird. It's like really noisy. I don't like it.
Resting her eyes. As punishment for my reckless evening, I plan on taking a quarantine-style staycation. A whole day. Just to myself. That'll show me.
Okay, so super cool. I'm gonna be fine. Listen, super cool. From the rip, we're gonna watch it again. I want to sort of show you some things in there that are kind of cool. We'll talk about it, but it's definitely giving the Modern Family vibe, right? That lines up with some of the leaks and rumors that we've heard about, and yeah, it's just really interesting. I think the thing that really struck me about the clip when I first watched it, number one, it's an official preview for a particular episode, which seems really cool because the show and the marketing for the show seems so smart. They're really aware of the questions that are on fans' minds and the conversations that are driving discussions online about the last episode. So they're being very clever in the way they promote the coming episode. Wanda did an oopsie. She says here, though, that it was intentional, right? So again, even though this is just like a little promo, like clipped out from the show, little thing, it actually gives us a lot. Number one, it kind of indicates that Wanda is yet again sort of using the veil of the sitcom television relationship thing. Like, it's just this weird veneer that goes over everything. Like, she's making light of the fact that she turned a whole bunch of people into clowns and stuff. You know what I mean? So she's essentially like saying like, we've all been there, you know, sort of making light of it. That's a very sitcom like thing. And so she's using that again to sort of hide behind the actual horror of what she's doing. So again, using the format of the show in a really meta-contextual way. I really, really dig it. It also indicates some stuff going on with Billy and Tommy. This is stuff we talked about in our preview video yesterday. But Billy and Tommy definitely seem to be a huge part of what is happening with this show, but also moving forward in the MCU. And in fact, I will say, I'm working on a huge video about the kids. Huge video. Because, yeah, there's some stuff I found out. Yeah. In my research, I found maybe some crazy stuff. So we'll get into all of that. But that's sort of like the baseline stuff. But now let's go through the trailer again and see if we pick anything else out.
Look, we've all been there, right? Letting our fear and anger get the best of us. Intentionally expanding the borders of the false world we created.
Like the music is circus here. You know what I mean? Or like kind of poppy, meant to be like fun. You know what I mean? This is like a pulp animation kind of thing. Like ha ha ha. You know what I mean? Like this is crazy. It's like the tango, you know. Now what's on? Now look at this. Look at this. Look at these hexes. Huh? What hexes you say? You see him? I'm gonna turn the tunes on a little bit since we're breaking down. I like to listen to cool beats. Do you see the hexes?
Mom, are you coming down soon? Mom, our game is freaking out.
Mom, our game is freaking out. Are you coming down soon? So we got like, I don't know what was, I can't even tell what that was. What is that? Like a Game Gear or some crazy thing? Or like an old school Atari thing? I can't tell. And then we get a GameCube, which is really cool. Shout out to the GameCube. Love that console. And then whatever the heck this is. This looks like an Atari 1. And then to Uno cards? Okay, now let's talk about this for a second. Once again, a seemingly small little thing in the show. And it was so funny. Darren and I were arguing about WandaVision last night because she's just like, nah, like it's just not for her. Like she likes it, but she's not like into all these little, like, I'm about to talk about how this 3-second clip in this trailer could indicate how the like snapping of Wanda's mind could start radically changing stuff across the multiverse. That would be crazy. And if it happens this quick, it would be nuts. And she's probably just like, yeah, no, she changed the controllers in the games and stuff, so whatever, it's not a big deal. So different strokes for different folks when it comes to the show. Your mileage may vary. For me, this does indicate coming things for the show. The multiverse of madness is totally a thing. It's the thing that this thread, these plot lines are headed towards. Okay? Also, right before this, well, actually, no, it's right after this. Let's keep going. This next part's really interesting, too. This part.
Is she asleep?
Mommy's not sleeping, honey. She's just resting her eyes.
Mom, my head feels weird.
My head feels weird. Now, remember, this is Wiccan. He just had like a vision of his dad dying and stuff.
Like, really noisy.
Really noisy. Okay, now I've just talked to only a few people about this because it kind of just came out earlier this morning. But some people think could be all the people in the Hex that are suffering. It could be all the new people that were brought into the Hex. And if Wanda is losing control of her ability to keep the game thing intact, again, just a seemingly little scene, then maybe she's losing the ability to control all of these consciousnesses and people are freaking out. Perhaps that's why people are glitching out and things are going on that seem weird and off. And if she just expanded the hex and brought in all these new people, how's she managing that? Can she manage that? So it's interesting. Who knows for sure what is going on here? But this begins the sort of story that we've talked about since the beginning, and that is that it really has to do mostly, I think, with Wiccan here. And rolling out of the show, I think that Wiccan is going to be a big deal for the MCU and tied to some pretty crazy things. Also, with her saying, like, mommy's not asleep and resting her eyes, does that not feel like some nightmare stuff to you guys? Like
I don't like it.
Resting her. As punishment for my reckless evening, I plan on taking a quarantine-style staycation.
Yeah, super modern family here. Quarantine-style staycation. That's interesting. I wonder if they changed that and reshot after Rona or anything. I know they were shooting a little in 2020, so. And then this is just meant to be like, okay, so the context here is really cool. This would be a great, like, alternate art cover or like a art piece or something out of a comic, because the idea is like, oh, wild night of partying as Scarlet Witch, and then you wake up and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I was that wild. I mean, honestly, it kind of works for me. I'm like, this is kind of cool. So yeah, you see what I mean? Like, she's just like, oh Jesus, can't believe I expanded the hex. Oh, this is a wild one, man. It's nightmare, not nightmare. Says David Hernandez. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Let us shift gears. What do you guys think about that WandaVision trailer? What do you think? Maybe we should talk a little just a teeny tiny little spoiler stuff. What do you think? Should we talk a little bit of the leaks and the spoilers and all that? Okay. Let's do slight spoiler warning. Slight spoiler warning for everyone. Slight. Apologies. Distraction. Okay. Spoilers. Yes. So. The kids and Billy having, bugging their mom. It being the Modern Family vibe. And the fact that Wanda wants to have a quarantine-style staycation. I mean, what does that indicate? It indicates that she will not be with the kids. She's going to be alone. Capisci? So, if Wanda's alone, and it's the Modern Family episode, etc., it kind of lines up with all of the leaks that have been out there about it being the Modern Family episode, about the kids being over with Agnes. Okay, so this is where it's going to get weird. Slight spoiler. Agnes is likely going to be, as DSG Goodbar says, Agnes is likely to be babysitting. So she's likely to be babysitting the kids. And again, it's not that the trailer like completely confirms this, but it really seems like that's what they're gonna do. Like, if right? So I don't, we don't have to get too crazy on it, but it really does seem like that leak could be true. And look, we're gonna get a little bit deeper into the spoilers here. I don't want to get too crazy, so let's keep it chill or whatever. I'll talk a little bit about this, and then we'll get into Q&A. Okay. It does appear that this might be the episode where we get the skinny, as it were, on one Agnes. Okay. Here's something else that I think is interesting. I was talking about Hulkling yesterday in the video. Obviously, Elisa did an incredible job, as she always does with the edits. And, you know, someone brought a comment up that I thought was actually I wanted to address because I was like, that's a good point. I was talking about Teddy and Billy and Hulkling and Wiccan in the comics. And they're a homosexual couple, one of the first LGBT couples represented in comics. And I was talking about this yesterday, and somebody was like, but they're kids or whatever. And I was like, yeah, that's true. I should have explained that I think there's going to be an age up that happens before they would address anything sexual or anything romantic with the kids. Obviously. I personally think some things go without saying, but I also acknowledge that we live in a world where you should probably say all those things. So, my apologies on that. But here's the thing that I think could happen. If the boys are going to go over with Agnes and stay with her, what has been happening when they age up? Each time that Wiccan and Speed age up, like Agnes is there. It would appear that one of the primary goals that Agnes, I mean, think about this. Let's really try to reverse engineer what her strategy could be. We talked about this last week, but I think it's definitely worth going over again. I strongly believe, and you let me know in chat if I'm right or wrong, if you agree or disagree with this. I strongly believe that Agnes was sort of manipulating Vision to go outside of the Hex in order to cause Wanda to freak out. Maybe even to cause Wanda to freak out, to literally get her to let go of her oversight on the children. And if that is indeed the case, if she's playing that degree of a game with Wanda and getting her to, you know, essentially, maybe Pietro's a part of this too. So Pietro comes in to help Wanda put her guard down. Then Agnes is trying to make Vision more aware and brings Vision outside to get Wanda to snap. Wanda snaps, blows the Hex wide open. Perhaps then now Agnes is like, oh, this is great. And look for this. We don't know if this is true, but look for this in the show. If Agnes is the one that suggests taking the children off of Wanda's hands or getting the children out of Wanda's hair, watch for that shit. Watch for that shit, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, I think that shit is going to happen. And beyond even that, I think the boys could age up once again in this episode. 100%. Because I still stand by the idea that a Modern Family episode is great to explore certain kinds of ideas. And I think that would be cool. But you obviously got to age the kids up. Okay? So we'll see. Look for that. Okay? Now, another aspect to the leaks and the rumors and the things that people are talking about has to do with Monica Rambeau. Perhaps the introduction of whoever her friend was, the aerospace engineer. Perhaps not. But Monica coming back into the Hex to find Darcy and also to interact with Vision. And so, you know, I saw a lot of people asking in chat and people were wondering and curious what's going on with Vision. This is what's going on with Vision, we think. He will be alive and fine. You know, I think back up, feeling good. But he's going to be investigating and like waking people's brains up, especially if Wanda is chilling, right? If Wanda doesn't have full control, he's going to be going around booping people, trying to see what's on their mind. Right now, the word on the street is that he will run into one Darcy and he will undo her thing, and then he and Darcy will start to work on the problem of Vision and what's going on in Westview, and then Monica will come into the picture as well. Okay, really interesting stuff. I also, and we did put this in our preview video, but it is more or less confirmed that the episode is around 38 minutes in total length, you know, so meaning like probably a half hour, maybe 32 minutes with your long-ass credits that you get with WandaVision. Which, by the way, I know some people, I don't know, I've seen arguments out there. Peeps be like, I hate these credits. I'm like, I don't hate them, but I'm definitely not going to come out there and be like, dude, these ass-long 30% of the runtime credits are great. Like, when did we get to this point where we're like, we got to jump on one side or the other, you know? Like, I vote that we make the credits a maximum of 5 minutes. and just make that shit go faster. That's me. All right, lads and lasses, let's get into question and answer time. So I'll go over every super chat that comes in within reason. If I don't like the cut of your jib, I might not answer your super chat, but I'll answer most every super chat that comes in. And if you don't have any loot to throw at a super chat, don't worry about that either. Just throw your question into the chat. I will try to get to as many chats as I can. We'll hang for a little bit today, okay, guys? Let's start with Attack. Peter says, is this Vision the first Sentinel? Hayward testing to see if he'll protect people from Wanda, explains Hayward provoking Wanda with the drone. Yep, it certainly does. I think there's a lot to that. I don't think it'll be a Sentinel, though. But I would not mind at all if Sword had some ties to mutants, enhanced, X-Men, etc., etc. That would be cool. I've indicated before that I think Hayward's really important to the MCU moving forward, and I still stand by that. Penguin Odyssey, welcome to the Nerdvengers. You are a Nerdvenger now. Make sure you come by Saturday or catch it later because holy cow. Lar Powell, 345. Isn't the watch party usually 245? Yes, it is, Lar. If I said... Look, man, coffee takes a little bit to work, you know? So, just, yeah. 245 it is. The Raven Rose 13 says, with a $5 holla, saw Darren. Great. Yeah, Darren's great, man. We love Darren around here. David, yeah, welcome to the Nerdvengers. You are a Nerdvenger. Now, Jay Mills says, do you think Snyder saved a bit of his initial $25 million to market, knowing Warner Brothers would choose not to? No, I do not, Jay. I think he needed every dime the studio would give him. But he has an incredible fan base that has done an incredible job of marketing the movie for him. I'm going to do my part to market it. We're going to do a big thing. We're actually going to have a DC versus Marvel week that week. Because it's like Snyder Cut versus Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like it's going to be really fun. So we'll do a DC versus Marvel week. And we've got some cool announcements about that as well. But no, Jay, unfortunately, he could not just keep $25 million of the film budget for marketing. But then again, I could be wrong. Watch it literally come out tomorrow in an article and say Snyder saved $25 million. You know, who knows, man? The world is upside down. Tom Cubbed, welcome to the Nerdvenger Prime, my friend. The Sunday stream this week will be particularly good and likely worth your $10 a month investment for the whole year. Because we're getting into it this weekend, baby. The Kidry, welcome to the Nerdvengers. You are a Nerdvenger now. Live with Iris says, hey, off topic. I read both the High Republic books and might have implications for Mace Windu. Yo, okay. Hit me a Live with Irish. Would you be so kind as to send me an email? That sounds pretty freaking cool to me. Would love to know more about it. Drum and Company says, y'all hear that Snyder has been eyed for Star Wars? Yeah, right? Nah, bro, he damn sure has not. And I do like that meme, though. It's pretty funny. So yeah, that's good shit. Vault Tech Spy with the $2 hollow says, Darren Wood, hashtag Den Mother. I know. How about her just dropping that last night? I was like, damn, you're not even going to, like, ease into this at all? You're just going to come in here and fucking throw your dick around or whatever? Jesus Christ. Logan Moe, welcome to the Nerdvengers. You're a Nerdvenger now. CGM Show says, I believe Warner Bros. Are out on Snyder because they didn't like how divisive BVS was, and BVS should have been a billion-dollar movie. It wasn't close. That's fair. I think that's fair. It's just a weird happenstance that most of the people, in my opinion, that were responsible for it bombing are also still the ones that are like trying to go in this other direction or sort of predicate the new direction on the failure of that film. Because even in BVS, like if you look at the director's cut of BVS, it is like 10 times better of a movie, I think. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's probably indicative of a lot of the behavior that was going on at Warner Brothers at that time, where they were like, this is a great movie, Zach, cut 40 minutes out of it. And then you have Batman vs. Superman. But CGM Show, to be real with you, though, I totally understand that there's a nuanced side to this. And if you are a studio, especially considering like just risk aversion, I totally get them not wanting to do it. I just think it's a bad decision, which I think is my right to do, right? Vulgar Language X217 says, what do you think happened to Quicksilver? I think I don't know, bro. That's a tough one. I think maybe he died, ran into the... I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that is the Fox Quicksilver, and he was doing something completely different, and he just happened to get wrapped up into like a Wanda thing as he was going through the multiverse or time or something. Logan Moe with the $5 holla says, kicking in the Nerdvenger door. Give me all the X-Men / Wolverine juice. What are your thoughts on the movie / show slate when we get it back? I'll tell you right now, Logan, I actually was up super late last night. First of all, I appreciate the love. Thank you. I was up super late last night working on a ton of different things. One of the things that I was working on was about how Marvel collectibles, I personally think Marvel collectibles are going to boom in the next 5 years like they have never boomed before. I was actually talking to some people about this, and WandaVision itself is, and I know not everybody loves it, but you just got to respect the raw numbers. WandaVision is essentially the show right now. It took over completely. It's the number one show. It's actually right now kind of knocking on that Mando door. Not like with raw numbers, but rather with like, I would say like percentage of the attention economy. Like the market share of the attention economy right now that WandaVision has is ridiculous. You know what I mean? So my thoughts are that if you consider that WandaVision is doing that, and then look at the slate and start to think about some of the built-in value that we've talked about coming in Phase 4 and beyond, Marvel is only going to get bigger. Marvel was already on the rise and became sort of a lifestyle brand on the back of the MCU. Feige's now the CCO. Everything's hitting his desk. Well, most everything is hitting his desk. Marvel as a lifestyle brand, and the value proposition of Marvel as a lifestyle brand is going to 10x in the next 5 to 10 years. So I'd start making Marvel videos. Point being. Topher5386 says, did anyone notice the hex design on Vision when he was getting pulled apart? I actually didn't notice that, but it makes sense. So you're talking about like just kind of geometrically, like his pieces getting ripped. Yeah, they did kind of seem hex-like in shape, didn't they? By the way, I just side note here, I cannot look at my phone. If I look at my phone right now, I'm going to lose all focus and the stream will crash. So just going to throw that out there. Dylan Landis says, oh, wait. Live with, I'm not looking. Live Irish says, they will age themselves up so they won't need a babysitter. Yo, brilliant. I like that take a lot. That's brilliant. Dylan Landis says, Josh, do you ever think we will see Ralph? If so, do you think he is significant? I think he is the overall big bad. Maybe Agnes is superior. Yeah, a lot of people are on that train. I certainly think it's possible that he's like Mephisto or the major nefarious actor. He could be something separate as well. There's a lot of confusion out there on this particular thing. So I don't know. Don't know what to tell you. Appreciate the question. A lot of people think that Ralph is the key. Could Ralph be the key? Absolutely. But wasn't there sort of like, I don't know. I feel as though there was some indication that like Agnes wasn't just completely subservient to Ralph. Like, didn't she say some shit about like, I don't know. That's just popping up in my brain. Anyway. Emily says, just got Marvel Unlimited, $10 a month for every Marvel comic. Freaking loving it, says Emily. Yo, Emily, you know what's funny about that? That's kind of what I was just talking about, right? Like Marvel as a lifestyle brand and their ability to bring people into this ecosystem in the community is pretty insane. I have Marvel Unlimited. I love Marvel Unlimited. I think it's a delay on the most recent comics, but there's like 70 years of dope stuff that you can look up on Marvel Unlimited. So, yeah, Emily, that's great. I appreciate you letting me know that. That's pretty cool. And I hope you enjoy I hope you enjoy your comics. You know, check out the our Discord, getting some conversations with Nerdvengers about what are good books and et cetera, et cetera. Did I see Tayana Paris hyping up the engineer? I did see that, Mason. She was like, yeah, I can't wait for y'all to find out who the engineer is or whatever, right? Very cool. I'm still on that Blue Marvel train for me, but could be someone else. Mark Smith, welcome to the Nerdvengers. You are a Nerdvenger now. Mike Motherflippin' Porter, how about the Rolling Stones Symphony of the Devil percussion? Yeah, dude, for sure. I was actually going to point that out during the expansion of the Hex scene in the clip. Josh, I can't say enough about you. Oh, thanks, brother. I really do appreciate that, Mike. You know, I love you, brother. Rolling Stone Symphony of the... Yeah, dude, it's super cool. You know, again, we've been talking about this. I really would love it to be Mephisto. It is seeming to be Nightmare. That is okay. I'm just going to try to let it go. Lushum, welcome to the Nerdvengers. You are a Nerdvenger. Now, Josh I says, I felt all out of sorts yesterday. I'm glad I caught the show today. Keep up the great show. WandaVision is fire. P.S. Take my money. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate the love, man. Yeah, I apologize. You know, things happen, man. You know, look, this was a weird week. We're going to end up missing, like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 streams, maybe 4 streams. I don't know. It's a rough week, but we're getting it sorted, man. We're getting it sorted. I'm in the process of moving. That always comes with complications. You know what I mean? So, Frankie Gouge says, I think Agnes killed the dog to cause them to age up, but Wanda talked them out of it. Yes. Yes, Frankie. Frankie G. Can I call you Frankie G? I agree with you, Frankie G. I certainly think she killed that doge. I think she made that doge just to kill that doge. Just to age up them kids, man. She's got some wicked-ass plans for them kids. Dylan Zuniga, welcome to the Nerdvenger Prime tier, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Reels and Heels with a $5 holler says, do you think Hayward could be Kree? Yes. We do know Earth has Kree sleeper cells. Totally, bro. Totally. Could be Kree. Could be Skrull. I don't think he's going to be a hybrid. They'll probably save that for Teddy if they do Teddy. But yeah, I mean, look, I was just thinking about this stuff last night. I was like, this is crazy. They're building towards Secret Invasion. They're building towards the possibility of like what's going to happen after Secret Invasion with the kids. Really cool stuff. And then if you think about Loki, right? Loki's supposedly going to introduce Kang, maybe even Iron Lad. Like, yo, like you start to see these pieces coming together and you're just like, whoa, I better invest in Marvel collectibles. That is not financial advice. Brian O'Connor, what do you think of the 10th episode being announced as a behind the scenes like the Mando gallery? Yeah, I think that's cool. Likely to be just a Mando gallery type thing, but also because it's WandaVision, you'd never know. Could be an actual episode. Wouldn't that be wild? What if they're doing something really weird with the meta there? We'll see. But either way, loving it. Wrights Review says, it's weird to me that Wanda isn't bothered by her kids aging so fast. She's missing good years with them, and she acts like it's normal. Yeah, that's a great point. Would indicate maybe, again, that the nefarious forces or sort of the manipulation by the other, bad guy is to get the kids to age up. And again, it is possible that in this episode, we see Agnes doing just that, and a lot of that stuff becomes a little bit more clear for us. So... here's the hoping. You know what I mean? Here's the hoping. Let us see here. Patrick Ray, I am new member and I really enjoy the channel. Thanks so much, man. I'm glad you enjoy the channel. If you are a new member, I want to remind you, if you can, go to the Discord. Join our Discord, and you can link your subscription here, your membership here, with the Discord to get access to our Nerdvengers only, like the exclusive part of the Discord. And we do drawings. We're starting this month. We're going to do drawings every month to give away prizes. This month it is a $200 GameStop gift card. So, join the Discord. Link up your Nerdvenger membership to the Discord. That's all you have to do to enter. We're going to do a random generator pool at the end of the month of all of the Nerdvengers that have linked their accounts. So make sure you do that. And then whenever Xboxes and stuff come back, we're going to start giving those away too. but only for Nerdvenger members and only via our Discord. It's for legal reasons. The Ghost Rider with the $1 holla. Thank you so much. Mark Smith says, yo, Josh, love the content. I also love the live stream you in theory do. Watch it from the UK when I can. LOL. Totally understand, man. It's across the pond. The time is tricky, mate. You know what I mean? Bob's your uncle. I don't know. I'm doing my best. But no, appreciate you, brother. Yeah, man, we're having fun over here. And, you know, I do a lot. I do a lot of streaming. And I do a lot of content. But really, shit's fun, man. You know what I mean? Like we're having fun over here. And by the way, some of the stuff we're working on again for Saturday, like, has me excited, dudes. Like, don't get me wrong. I love what I do, and I love this community, and I love streaming and everything like that. But there's, you know, YouTube kind of becomes this thing where you kind of get into a rhythm, and then it can get a little repetitive, and you're like, oh man, like, where's the creative juices? Like, frankly, like, YouTube doesn't really reward you for like being creative. It just rewards you for like feeding the algorithm, right? So there's an aspect of what we have going on that has put a fire under me, and I'm very excited. It's pretty cool. And being a Nerdvenger, even right now, is going to come with benefits later for the thing we're building. That's all I can say. Revan Fett says, sorry, kind of a Marvel normie. Why do we think it's Blue Marvel? Honestly, it has nothing to do with the comics. It has to do with, like, people indicate. I think it was Casey Walsh was where it all started from. Casey Walsh, who, like, writes for Disney or something like that. I'm not super familiar with Casey, actually, but I know he's reliable. I know when he says something, when he hints something, it has a pretty high probability of actually being a real thing. He doesn't talk out of his ass with this stuff. So Casey Walsh, I think, is the person that started it, and then other people were sort of hinting, and they were like, yeah, kind of, you know, sort of giving it the half nod. So that's why I think, anyway. Drafter with a very generous 1977 Supa says, I still like Truth or Darren, me too, actually, and take my money to match the dono to her, since you don't get too jelly. Yeah, thanks. So what he's referring to, so appreciate you, Drafter. So what he's referring to is, for Darren's stream, she gets all of the super chat money for her show. Like, that's the arrangement we have with her, because we really want to take care of Darren, you know, keep her, you know, with us, and then hopefully have her help on other content, videos, etc. But the best way we could do that was, I was like, look, let's do the show once a week. You can get all the simp money that comes in, minus the fees that YouTube takes and all that, right? Will go to Darren. So every Wednesday night, look, if you really like Darren, you want to simp for Darren, or just, you know, look, all memes aside, if you want to support Darren, super chat her on her show with us, because the money's going to go to her directly, right? And I was joking, though, that you just have to simp responsibly, and also you better save some super chat money for me, because I'm going to get super jealous if Darren starts just killing it with super chats and you guys just forget about me. I mean, I'm going to be pissed. So let's not show that. And yeah, Truth or Darren is a great name, I think. Tom Cubbed says Darren's show name should be Nerds Be Simpin'. Nerds Be Simpin'. P.S. Take my money. I cannot possibly try to pronounce this Russian name here, but I will just say Bratia Borusha. Nerdvenger. You are a Nerdvenger now. Kendall Davis says, chances that Wanda expands the hex and takes over the world at one point. Much love, bro. Thank you, Kendall. I appreciate you. Whew. That is the question, isn't it? That is the question. I think it's possible, man. But that'd be wild, bro. I mean, like, let's just be real. Like, oh shit. Like, if she expands it to the whole world, like, we're in trouble, bro. Like, we're up shit creek without a paddle, dog. You know what I mean? Like, that's gonna be like a whole different ball game. So, like, I totally think it's possible. But yo, if they go that direction, whew, buckle up, baby. Neyman Hubbard says, I don't think Nightmare fits for this. I think Mephisto and Wanda making some sort of deal like Nightmare's powers are the only effective in your sleep. Yeah, it's very possible. I like that And I really would like Mephisto to be involved as well, but look, man, there's just a lot of people that have kind of reached out and said, like, nah, man, like, I'm Mephisto. So, look, that could be fake news. Maybe he's in there, and maybe these people don't know. But, yeah, I'm kind of just getting that indication, like, motherfuckers were trying to tell me, like, yo, calm down on that Ezra stuff. Ezra is not in The Mandalorian Season 2, and I was just like, ignore. You know what I mean? Like, look, I have my biases. I get my blinders on as well. If I get, like, really into something, it's just hard for me sometimes to separate. You know what I mean? I was like, no, Ezra Bridger? Definitely. Like, I couldn't separate the reality. And people were trying to tell me. So, yeah, I try to... With this one, man, I'm trying to be super cautious. I haven't talked much about, like, long game stuff yet. Like, let's just wait. Jordan, welcome to the Nerdvengers. You are a Nerdvenger now. Oh, snap. Your name is Lucas? You're not kidding? That's dope, man. So I'll tell you a real quick, a little story, my guy. So I grew up, well, I in my high school years, I had a very close friend, a Russian friend named Lev. And Lev, I won't say his last name, but in English we call him Lev, right? Oh man, so many good times with this motherfucker. But I'll just say this, and I'm not, if you run with Russians for a while, and Lev had some family that were really chill, and then he had some family that were super not chill. And if you run with Russians for a while, man, like, it's they're an interesting people. Being Polish myself, I have a lot of connections. Like, the Slavic love is strong, and we had a lot of good times. But man, some wild stuff too. But welcome, Lucas, my Russian Nerdvenger. Bratya Borussia. Ross Breimer says, if the Snyder Cut sequels get greenlit, it'll be AT&T and not Warner Brothers. We wouldn't be getting the Snyder Cut if it was up to Warner Brothers. That's totally fair, Ross. But my problem with that is, then why haven't they slapped them around more? And maybe it was because of the announcement to move everything directly to HBO Max. Like, it's possible that really pissed some people off in Hollywood. You know what I mean? To the degree to which they were like, Snyder Cut, nope. You know what I mean? So, who knows exactly? But, man. You're right. You're right. I just, like, come on, AT&T. Like, if we want to give AT&T that kind of credit, right? Then they gotta do that. I mean, technically, they did make it happen. I don't know. What am I talking about? The Ghost Rider says, Hayward is Eric Williamson. The FBI case is Simon. Could be. I actually have thought about that exact scenario, Ghost Rider, but most people would have no idea. Another one for that on-point pronunciation, though. Yes. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you, bro. No, man. Yeah. All right. Yo, Josh, I don't have much loot, but I gotta support a fellow Polish homie. Love every one of your videos and so glad to be a part of this community. Thank you, Carter. Appreciate you, brother. And look, you don't gotta throw the loot over here if you don't got it. We want to make sure that you guys are comfortable and all set. Yeah. So, appreciate you, and you bet your dupa that I'm happy to hear from another a Polak like myself. So thank you. What's going on in the chat? What are y'all saying? I never know what you guys are saying in here. What are y'all saying? Holy shit, Josh. You have to be able to check out Mortal Kombat. Is the Mortal Kombat trailer pretty dope? I'll have to check it out. Amy Dallin? I love Amy Dallin. Amy Dallin was one of Schnepp's people for a long time. I have no idea what Amy Dallin is doing these days. But if one were to send me her contact info, I would reach out. A Nerdvenger Hex would be dope. Hope that's the plan. Oh, you'll be surprised how close you are. We're going to hex this motherfucker for shout. Hayward is low-key referred to as a terrorist. Ronan calls Skrulls as terrorists. Ooh, whoa, yeah, David, nice, dude, nice call. So David is saying that, like, so when he's calling Wanda a terrorist and stuff like that, that could mean that he's a Kree because the Kree called the Skrulls terrorists, right? Is that what you're saying? I lost the chat already. It's gone. But everyone shut up. Josh is looking now. That's right, I am. I'm actually going to look at my phone for a second here, too. MK trailer? Is it pretty sick? Damn. Oh, no. Wait, what? John Bernthal in armor? Oh, Manifest. Okay. Whew. You freak me out with those all caps. Love the Elisa video. More of her on the main channel, por favor. Dandrix, your wish is my command. Elisa video, a very good Elisa video coming out later today. Maybe around 1. Maybe around 1 or 1:30. They have a restricted trailer for it. Red Band. I'm not gonna watch the. Yeah, I mean maybe if I didn't have so much other stuff to do. But yeah, I'm not gonna watch the trailer, guys. Sorry, we're on the tail end here. We're just smoking a cigarette after a nice Nerdvenging session. You know, let's just chill out for a second before we part ways. I'll call you later, though. How's Clubhouse going? Dude. All right, let me ask you guys an idea. This would be a crazy idea. I was going to reach out to... Okay. What if I did a Clubhouse with, like, Gina Carano? You know what I mean? What if I did a Clubhouse with, like, Gina Carano? Would that be, like, too wild? Because there's literally no other platform, period, that I can personally think of where we could talk and not be afraid of, like, you know, pretty much anything. Yeah, I'd like to do it. I'd like to do it. The problem is the only way you all would hear it is if you were on Clubhouse, or if someone like recorded it, or if we agreed for it to be recorded, which I don't think I would do. Stereo app is also blowing up. Yep. Discord link. Can we get a Discord link in, please? Can we get a Discord link? Yeah, we created a reality. Do you think she means... I don't think she was colloquially speaking of a we. She was saying in the framing of the phrase, because she said, we've all been there, right? So she's referring back to that. We've all been there. So, oh, well, yeah. What's Clubhouse? Clubhouse is a social media app that's all like voice based. It's like you get into conversations, you go into rooms and listen to people. It's invite only currently, and I think there's a waiting list to get in. So people feel more comfortable on there, like really truly speaking their mind, because it's not like Twitter where everybody can just, you know, grab it or chime in or try to weaponize what you're saying. Like on Clubhouse, it seems to be more like, yo, I viewed that crazy combo last night with those two people. That was wild. But there's no content that lives after that. Like, you were just a part of that conversation. It's really cool. I like it. I like it a lot. What about Fight Club for Gina Carano interview? I don't have Clubhouse. I thought about that too. I'm actually less interested in doing something like that. And that's actually something I would talk more about in the actual interview. But that I think is part of the reason that I even would want to do it, is because this is not, to me, it's being turned into a big culture war issue. And like, I understand that because of the framing, but ultimately this is not one of those same issues to me. And I'd like to try to like talk to Gina about why I think that and get her raw feelings on it. Because here's the thing. Well, I don't want to go too deep on this, but here's what I think is going on. If you were a person that was engaged in certain activities and you viewed those activities as completely within, you know, your ethical purview, you know, totally chill, all good, and then you had the perception that there was like this whole half of the population that not only didn't agree with you, but like wanted to come after you. If you really and actually believed that, like, your behavior would be pretty radical, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? And I just simply don't buy in to that. I'm just over the outrage. It doesn't do it for me. I feel like this is just a stoked thing to stoke. But at the same time, like, if there was some real crappy stuff that happened, or if there's situations that people should know about, I'm completely willing to lend a platform or to lend some kind of aid to that situation going. Like, I'm at a position where, like, I'm in some weird ways kind of isolating myself from like the need to kind of care what people think about my opinion per se or whatever. And I don't mean in the sense of fans or viewers, because I actually really care what they think, but I can't like adhere to what they want, but I care what they think. What I'm saying is for institutional power. Like, I don't care what Disney thinks about this channel. You know what I mean? I don't. You know what I mean? Like, I love Jon Favreau, but I don't care what he thinks about me. Period. You know? So, like, there's stuff happening that is really, really interesting. And it's just like, to me, what I'd rather do, like, let me explain this too. Rather than like make a bunch of content or like talk about Gina on social media, talk about Gina on a bunch of live streams, make a bunch of videos about Gina, do all this stuff, which really just A, stokes the flames, B, is mostly done just to make money. It's a grift. So if I were to like do all that and then turn around and say, hey, I want to have a conversation with Gina on Clubhouse, it's meaningless. It means nothing. But instead, because of the way we've covered it and because of the way we approach the subject and talk about the subject with our fans and anybody that'll listen, it's totally different. Like, I will push Gina. I will push because I frankly don't buy some of the things that at least I imagine are her stances. I don't even know because, of course, I haven't talked to her. But I would imagine some of her stances and explanations I personally disagree with. But I'm also not a butthole that's trying to fucking cancel her or make her look like this horrible thing, right? So, I don't know. Maybe that would be good for society if people just talked. You know, that could be kind of chill. But also with the acknowledgement that we do live in this crazy kind of world. I don't know. Just a thought. Patrick Ray says, just wanted to be welcomed to the Nerdvengers. Patrick Ray, welcome to the Nerdvengers, brother. You are a Nerdvenger now. And also, we appreciate you. Yeah, I just think your interview would be amazing and unlike what we would get from others such as Jay, etc. And I want to hear it. Yeah, I mean, look, just period. You're right. You know what I mean? No shade. No shade. But it's just true. Our shit would be different. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. Can someone put the Discord link in, please? And then we're probably going to call it there, guys, okay? Yeah, see, Russell, that your comment there, though, is exactly why we probably couldn't do it on YouTube or Twitter. You know what I mean? Because, you know, again, like, you're so personally triggered by it that I don't think you're actually hearing what I'm saying. You'd caution me painting all the people wanting to cancel her as buttholes. It's really hard for me to imagine that anything I said indicated that to you. In fact, I know that that's not possible. Your brain made that leap because what I said was, I'm not going to be one of those people that just wants to cancel her and be a butthole. And that was in the context of interviewing her. It was also in the context of first saying that I would push her, meaning what I was trying to convey was I will push her, but I will also not be one of those just butthole people. It's called nuance. But you can't even let that hit your ear holes without saying some outlandish shit. And I like you, Russell, but that is outlandish. I'd caution against painting all people wanting to cancel her as buttholes. Again, think about what you just said and what I actually did. And you are a diamond member on this channel. You have been a paid member of this channel for 6 months. And even you, who has spent personal time with me, knows my character. Even you approach the subject like this. Does the class now understand why we must move on these certain subjects very carefully? Do we understand? Hamill voiced Nightmare once. Mark as big cameo. I would love it. Mark Hamill is absolutely fantastic. That would be great. I mean, I don't know if Russell is triggered or not. He might. I mean, he's probably a little triggered. Maybe a lot triggered. I don't know. Josh really being patient today, says Elisa. Well, I'm just in a good mood, man. Look, there's a lot of good things going on. I love this community. I love Russell too. I don't mean anything by that. It's just important to point out. I'm not going to just intellectually roll over and act like it feels like to me in some ways the whole world is ignoring, like it's on tape, dude. You can go back and watch what I actually said. You know what I mean? There's something happening in humans' brains that is not accurate. It's not accurate. And actually, this would be an interesting topic to get into with Gina, because I think there is a part of her actions that is, I think, really tied to this idea. I think that's what she's trying to convey. And I think that idea and that thing is something, by the way, I personally want to get behind as well. But I don't think you do it the way she did. I just think it was a bad strat. So you might have a conversation with Gina and myself where at the end of it, we formulate like a 501c3 where we're literally trying to like make a change and affect maybe policy or something when it comes to social media, like changing things, like legit changing things. Again, maybe she felt with her platform that was the best way to do that. That's totally fair. I just disagree. What a world, Chet. What a world. You know? Yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it. We're going to call it there. Wait, what does disagree mean? All right, lads and lasses. We'll call it there. Elisa video dropping in the afternoon. Preview videos out there. We'll WandaVision it up tomorrow. Massive Nerdvengers stream on Saturday. Make sure you're there if you can be, okay? As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I will see you in the next video. All right, you animals. I'll give you one little thing. I got sent something from a certain lady today. And that shit was not cool. She's trying to throw me off in the middle of my stream. That shit is not cool. All right, it was pretty cool.